Imagine being stripped of your sight, hearing, touch, and yet still winning against a superior foe. This is a masterclass in strategy. It's one of the most illogical moments in fairy tale as a whole. Now, I wanted to talk about this because in a different video, I received a comment asking, what fight do I believe used the power of friendship? This was one of the fights that came to mind, so in this video I want to go over exactly what happened between Erza and Kyoka, and show why this fight is just the pure power of friendship. Now, to give context, this all occurs during the Taurus arc. You see, earlier in this arc, Erza was kidnapped by Kyoka, a demon created by Zero. The reason she was kidnapped in the first place because in order for Kyoka to advance her plans, she needed to know the location of Jael. Now, I know I probably butchered that name, but stay with me. Since Erza and Jael are close, she assumed that Erza would know the location. Now, Erza told Kyoka she didn't, but she thought Erza was lying just to cover for Jael. Because she thought Erza was lying, Kyoka concluded that the only way to get the information out of Erza was to subject her to torture. The thing is, Kyoka torture is a little different from the standard torturing method. See, Kyoka has unique abilities. Kyoka is able to not only take away senses but enhance them as well. Using her abilities, she made Erza's pain receptors extremely sensitive. In other words, all pain she received is way worse than the normal amount she would usually receive. Now, she was eventually released by Natsu and Lysiana. After being released, Erza will shortly get into a 1v1 versus Kyoka. A fully healthy with no damage Kyoka, mind you. Erza has not been healed whatsoever at this point. Also, don't forget, Erza was just being subjected to torture not too long ago, and because of Kyoka's abilities, it was worse than regular torture. But I wouldn't say this is where the power of friendship allegations can come from. I mean, if you've seen Fairy Tail before, we know Erza has crazy endurance. Look at the Magic Games arc, for example, where she took out 100 monsters by herself. So being able to still fight Kyoka after the torture shouldn't be too crazy. So knowing that, you may be wondering what is the moment that doesn't make sense. You see, during Erza's fight against Kyoka, their strengths seem to not be too far apart. That is until Kyoka decides to transform into her Aetherus form, a form that for every second that passes, her power increases. Now, it's not never blatantly stated how much strength she gets. We just know that she gets stronger by the second. Now, if it just ended there, that would be one thing. But Kyoka still decides to go further, so she used her abilities to enhance Erza's pain receptors just like during the torture. Being so painful that even a gentle breeze caused her unimaginable pain. Even then, that isn't enough because Kyoka decides to rob Erza of all her senses, only leaving her to feel pain. So at this point, Erza should have no way to win. If that's what you thought like me, you're wrong. Because she gets up and proceeds to put hands, feet, and even swords on Kyoka. A smooth beatdown leading to Erza's victory. Now the worst part is that I actually liked this fight. The choreography was great, but because of how it ended, it always just left a bad taste in my mouth. Especially since they didn't give a solid reasoning to why Erza was able to power through Kyoka's abilities. But maybe someone knows something I don't, and if they're able to give an explanation to this fight, I'm completely open to it. By the way, this isn't a slander video. Fairy Tail is in my top 15 animes of all time, and every anime that has a lot of fight scenes has a few fights that end terribly. But you may feel different, and that's okay. But besides that, that's basically it.